Y'all, this is Rodney Watson for those of y'all that haven't met me. This isn't the video that I was wanting to put out, or the first video I was wanting to put out about my candidacy for Jefferson County Commission. But I was listening to the news this morning, and they're talking a lot about this stadium in Birmingham that they're wanting to build. And I've been paying attention to it for the last few days. And there's just some information about it that doesn't make sense to me. Now, I understand that the county's wanting to give $30 million to this stadium. And I do have a problem with that on some personal issues, that I don't feel like that our roads are being taken good enough care of to be giving $30 million to a stadium. Not really against the stadium. I don't think it's in line with priorities. But the price tag for this stadium, when I heard it, didn't sound right to me. Now, understand, this is all I've ever done is construction work. This building is all we've ever done. We've sold some stuff and been part of some auctions, but since I was a kid, all we've ever done is built. We put in sewers, water lines. I worked a little bit with Brasco and Gorey. I work now with the Boilermakers. All we do is construction work. So the cost, when I heard the cost of this stadium, it just didn't sound right. And I heard it, and I got back on AL.com, and I'm reading an article here. And as I heard on the news, it said the proposed cost for this stadium is $174 million, open air stadium. It was designed by Kansas City, Missouri-based design and architectural firm Populous. But then if you go on down and read, and it was the $174 million that the news reported. But if you go on down here, the master plan includes stadium and arena upgrades. It says that total cost is just shy of $300 million. So the $174 million does not even touch what else has got to be built around it. All right, now. But even that doesn't sound high enough for me because of what I know other stadiums have cost. And understand, when you go to build a stadium like this, and you're in a city or a county, and you're doing this to make yourself competitive and to have a draw. And you're going to have to compete with these other cities that have these other stadiums. And it's just like building a house. If you're wanting to attract the buyers to your house over the builders this building next to you, you've got to compete in quality and style and price. You've got to build a nice home, at least one comparable to the ones around you. If they're going to build a $300 million stadium, and let's just look at some stadium costing. You can go on this website that I looked up. It is athleticbusiness.com. They're building stadiums now. $720 million was the Lucas Oil Stadium, 2008. That was 10 years ago. $1.5 billion for the Cowboy Stadium, 2009. $1.6 billion for the MetLife Stadium, 2010. 8 years ago. Major League Baseball hasn't seen quite that level of inflation, but it has produced the three most expensive ballparks in history in 2008. National Parks, $611 million. In 2009, Citi Field, $900 million. Yankee Stadium, $1.5 billion. Perhaps it's not worth noting the MLB's newest venue, 4-month-old Merlis Park, the league's sixth to feature a retractable roof in its smallest and total seating capacity, costs more than $515 million. $515 million, and they're wanting to do this for $300 million. I don't believe it can be built for the $300 million. I believe that's a low ball. They're going to be overruns. And if they're not planning on building a stadium that's going to compete with these other ones, they're not doing anything. They're not helping us. There's a whole other market side of this that I think they're probably cannibalizing themselves with all the other sports stuff we've got going on in the area. I don't feel like we have the population to support this. We're not going to have the fan base. We have Alabama and Auburn. That's a whole other discussion, and some of that is opinion. But what I just read you about cost is not opinion. Nobody has built one for $174 million. That was just the cost of the stadium that we've been reported to. The overall cost is $300 million, and nobody has built one that cheap. So how's Birmingham going to build it that cheap? How's Jefferson County going to build it that cheap? I've been in construction all my life. I understand cost and where it comes from. I understand competition for what you're building. There's one more thing I'm going to mention. I'm going to let you go. Jimmy Stevens is a big proponent of this $30 million. He's the man I'm running against. He's willing to give the $30 million to the stadium, and I understand from what I've heard that he's pushing it. He wants to do this. Well, I heard this morning on the news that the county has said that if they'll give the $30 million if they get it started this year. All right? That didn't sound right to me. If I want to invest my $30 million, if I want to invest $30,000 into a project that I think is going to make money, obviously I want to get it started as quick as I can. But if I believe that it's a good investment, and I've looked at the cost, and it's clear they haven't looked at the cost. If I've looked at the marketing money, it's clear they haven't. But if I had done all my homework about this business, I would want to get started as quick as possible. But I wouldn't put a timeline of a year or 2 years if it's going to take that long to get all the red tape taken care of. I'm dealing with a business right now, me and my wife, a dog business in Hueytown, and we're into it almost a year longer than we wanted to be on just getting the boarding in there. We're having to go back and forth with the city, and we're trying to get boarding in there. We thought we'd get it the first time we went before the board. But we haven't backed up from this because we have done the numbers. We own the building. We think it's a good investment for what we're doing. We may be wrong, but we believe in it, and we're not putting a timetable on it. It gets frustrating. If the county really believed in this and they thought it was going to be great and wonderful, they wouldn't put a timetable of a year. And they're not going to get it started within a year. Have you seen the nightmare downtown with the interstate? How would you like to be bringing material in and out right now with the interstate down like it is? They can't build it for the $300 million. They certainly can't build it for the $174 million because that's the price they're quoting. That's not even including the overall cost. No other stadium has been built for $300 million that's worth competing with. You know what I mean? You've got to compete with these other stadiums. We have to have this draw. They're not going to bring the stuff that they're saying they want to bring to a substandard stadium. They built it for $300 million. They can't compete. Thank you.